Small Town Minds.
Hey, small town minds. Well, we're looking a little short tonight. We had a full house last time. Now it's just down to
Yes.
the two of us.
Yes,
This is
yes.
a podcast about anything, everything, probably nothing from two guys from a small town in Tennessee. Braden, what's going on?
You know, it occurred to me, I think literally while we were coming on air, so to speak. I think this is actually technically the 1 year anniversary show.
It
Episode
should be,
20
yeah. Yeah,
episode 26 and yeah, we do this in a bi-weekly format. So yeah, 1 year.
yeah.
Um Pretty crazy. As I brought up, it's wild to see things that we talked about a year ago, such as plot cameras and things we're talking about them more now. It's crazy. Been a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it's definitely been an eye-opening experience to just sort of keep an eye on everything in such a way that maybe I normally wouldn't do as maybe as as integrally as we do here because like yeah, I mean I would always obviously see stuff and read things in passing and stuff, but when you are doing it here, when you know you're going to talk about it, you obviously going to dig a little bit deeper and think a little bit more heavier about some of those things. So it's definitely um, one of those things that really just opens it up to you. And you go, oh, well, dang, this world is crazy,
Yeah, yeah.
crazy, crazy.
Uh, you well, let's. I'm gonna throw you another curveball. I'm gonna let's talk a little music. You sent some songs in the chat. Cigarette lighter love song.
Yeah,
And I think another one by Marvelous 3, the
Grant
Cigarette
Park.
Lighter Grand Park. Definitely really dug Cigarette Lighter Love Song. I don't think I ever got around to listening to Grand Park. I don't remember Marvelous 3. That
Really?
was, they had another big hit,
Freak of the week.
Freak of the Week, and I vaguely remember that one. Um,
hmm
but
hmm
yeah, no, the Cigarette Lighter Love Song, definitely really good track. Really enjoyed it.
Um, yeah, so Marvelous Three is one of the brainchilds of Butch Walker. You know, he's the singer, guitarist, and everything, and he's had a crazy career throughout his whole span. He started out, I think he started out. I'm not sure if this was his first band or not, but he kind of got a little bit of fame in a heavy metal glam band back in the late 80s, I guess, maybe. South Gang was he was in that. And then he went on to do kind of a duet sort of rock pop band called the Floyds. And I think they only had one album. It was a pretty decent album though. Then they went on to do Marvel 3 and they did I think they did three albums. I could be wrong. There might have been a fourth, but they did. Freak of the Week was on the second one, and they got kind of famous on that one. That was their big hit. This one that I sent you guys, Ready Six to Go, is not really. I don't really because it's kind of like Weezer's Pinkerton. It's not really like a radio album, but it's got so many damn good songs on it, and I love all of them. Like that's my favorite album of theirs for sure. So after that, then he went on to kind of become like a producer and writer for a lot of people. He wrote some stuff for Taylor Swift, and I mean a lot of people. But then he has his own solo stuff now, which is and a lot of that stuff is really good too. I mean, he's produced a lot of people. He produced Green Day once, which I can't recall that album's name, but I can tell you it was kind of their worst album. So, so like I love Green Day and I love Butch Walker, but put them together, I don't know how well they mesh. But overall, but yeah, it's a good album. So yeah, if you get a chance, I'd say check the whole thing out. It really is very solid. Again, not really radio friendly, I guess, to a
Yeah.
degree, but there's still a lot of really catchy stuff on there.
Did you check out the Brandon Flowers track I sent?
I, I did listen to that Brandon Flowers track he sent today. Yeah, that's this is on his country album, right? The one he's working
Yeah.
on. Yeah, yeah, it sounded good. I liked it.
It that's probably my favorite track off the album. So this is his third solo album. I probably like the Desired Effect the most. He's got Flamingo, the Desired Effect, and now Thrasher. It much like you told me with the Marvelous Three, if you get a chance to check out the whole album, there's a lot of nuances to the music, a lot of little things going on that demands multiple listens. Lyrically, he tells some stories, and in that
Yeah,
regard, it's certainly a country album. But yeah, I really enjoy it. There's I'm picking up new stuff each time I listen to different songs. So yeah, really solid album.
cool. Yeah, I like that one. I like that Miss America one too. You said a
Yep,
while back, and that was definitely a story for sure. Very
yep.
folksy country, I guess you'd say. All right. Speaking of music, Bonnaroo cancels for next year. Now, Bonnaroo. Now, have you ever been to Bonnaroo? I've never been to Bonnaroo, but
I have not. And the older I got, the less I wanted to deal
oh,
with
right, absolutely.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
Now look. Now, I definitely did some festivals, some fests back in the day. I did Buzz Fest a few times. Did some Warp Tours, stuff like that. I did some that had a lot of bands. For you kind of stay the day. Did River Stages in Nashville back in the day. That was a
Yep.
3 day event, but I don't think I was there for the whole 3 days. I'm pretty sure I was there for maybe one or two. But um, this one in particular, these kind of crazy, like just so many bands, so many people in the hot sun. I mean, every year, Bonnaroo, somebody died, right? So
Yeah.
somebody died. Like that.
Yeah.
That's like, well, I could go. I might die. I might not. But I think what happened was I don't know what all happened with Monterey, but I guess some of the stuff was some of the terrain had to be fixed. They
Yeah,
had
because
some
2025, they canceled it, or at least a day of it because of rain
right. Hmm.
or a
Yeah.
flood, I guess it was. My thing is this year, this lineup. And again, I know I'm getting a little older, but I also try to pride myself a little bit on what is out there. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's bad. I'm open to a lot of things. So this year you had the Strokes, Grizz. Never heard of Grizz. Turnstile, Youngblood, uh, Rufus DeSoul, Teddy Swims, The Neighborhood. These are the headliners on each respective night. And then finally on Sunday, Noah Kahan. I have heard a little bit of his stuff, Role Model, and Kesha. Not, in my opinion, not the strongest lineup compared to previous years when you've had like
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
maybe it has fallen off. Maybe it has lost a little bit of its luster.
Hmm.
I find myself, and damn it, where's Tuck at? Because we're getting kind of in the weeds on music. I find myself like really seeking out, like Jesse Wells, for instance. I've been stuck on him. Find myself seeking out some different artists. I'm not listening to the radio, and fuck, I can't remember the last time. I either throw a podcast on or I'm seeking out something. Do you ever listen to the radio anymore?
Are you kidding me? I haven't listened to radio since the 90s.
Right, right.
No, I mean, absolutely not. I mean, like, during the 90s, I was way more open to most music and I did like a lot more. I feel like a lot more different genres. I felt like I like the pop. I like even some of the country. I liked a lot of different stuff there. And, as I got older, obviously, I sort of culled my taste lot finer. And that stuff didn't appeal to me anymore. And I like the ability to choose what I want to listen to. And that's why now, pretty much once I had enough of CDs where I could just play my own, list of tunes that I wanted
Yeah.
to hear, That's what I did. That is the way I always listen to music up until iPods, which became a thing, and then obviously now it's just streaming,
Yeah.
streaming. But and I still use CDs sometimes, but but no, I don't like the radio. I mean, I don't want to be told what to listen to. I understand that that is the way to sometimes hear new stuff and everything, but I just don't. I just don't.
Yeah.
And which I know I do miss out on a lot, but like I probably know of like the bands that have came out in the last say 20 years. I probably know like less than 10% of them.
How
So
viable is the radio anymore for an artist? Like, you have TikTok, you have YouTube, you have uh, all these things where a song can blow up.
yeah, you don't really need it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not really. I mean, I'm sure there are sticklers that will always listen to the radio. That's kind of their thing,
Yeah.
but I don't personally see the point in it. I mean, ads, commercials, or whatever. I just don't want
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
no, it's not for me. And that again, it hasn't been for over 25 years. So
Yep.
yeah, just like regular TV, man. I want to watch what I want to watch, which is why I do like streaming in the sense that you can pick what you want. You know. But yeah, this whole cancellation thing, it may be telling of the fact that yes, that some of these venues may be running out of steam. I'm sure, like with every other concert, their prices have went up and up and up. And so when you factor all that stuff in, sometimes people just go, I don't want to do it. So
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
All right.
This was kind of a story that broke earlier this week as we're recording. Only 36 years old, seemingly a drug overdose. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about it, I guess, is because not a lot has came out. Supposedly Narcan was used, but looks like a drug overdose, seemingly. But she, in recent months, from what I've been reading, she'd been more open about, coming up as a child star and the struggles with drugs, so on and so forth, and what she faced in the industry. And now she's gone. So I don't know. Very
Yeah, she came
tragic.
out with a memoir recently, and she discussed some things. And one of the things she discussed was being on a boat and sort of being kind of semi-trafficked
Yep.
to
Yep.
a certain famous at the time anyway. He's not even famous anymore, but really, but this guy who was unbeknownst that she was going into a room with. Uh, yeah, so that's a whole big part of it. That you don't. There's just sort of a big mystery surrounding it, obviously, because it's like, yeah, obviously she has had personal struggles in the past, but then she's also with her abusive boy, on again, off again boyfriend who's assaulted her. So there was that as well. And then yeah, some people are saying yeah, she spoke about the truth, kind of like they say, about the Soundgarden guy and what's the other guy? The guy from I can't think of the band's name.
Lincoln Park.
Linkin Park. Those
Yeah.
guys, they're lead singers, both of them. Speaking out about some things, and yeah, I mean, all this stuff sort of feeds into those conspiracies, but
Yeah.
so it's definitely a part of that. That's why it's part of the conversation of being like, what happened here?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but she was really young. I didn't even realize she was actually that young until they was like 36. I thought, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, she was um, had some really good roles and stuff. I watched all the Nashville and everything, and she was in two of the Scream movies, which I love, obviously. So yeah, definitely was a great actress. All right, Sony patents to shrink size of 100 GB of AAA games to only 199 megabytes. about streaming assets. What do you got?
Yeah. So this has been something I've talked about with some people at work that I know game, and Chuck is still big into gaming. Every other media, like we just touched on, is streaming except for games. And it seems like it's continuing to go more and more in that direction of full game streaming. And a gentleman I work with brought up that no matter what, you would still need a CPU, something for that game to run on. And this patent essentially eliminates that. You would still need, I imagine, some type of box or something for it to run, but uh, it just compresses everything down to where you no longer need as much storage. Fetches new little bits of information as you progress. Uh, there's probably some other really nerdy shit, but uh, it's to me, as I kind of in layman's terms, yeah, it's the first big step into like Netflix for gaming.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, and I mean, I kind of get it in a way because obviously, if they have decided no more discs for sure, then I mean, what would somebody do if you are reliant on, say, like you know, like a little mini disc to hold your games? Uh, then I mean, how many gigabytes are you going to need to have all these games if you're having so many? You know, you're going to run out pretty quickly because a lot of those games are really big, right? They have a lot of
Right.
gigabytes to them. Um, I mean, I can see that to an extent, but like you said, that just makes it streaming, which was the whole thing that people talked about not wanting because then you're just pay to play. Really, you don't really own the system of the game. It could potentially be pulled, possibly. I mean, and look, I mean, we talked about it on a few podcasts ago. Sony pulled how many movies? 500 movies, I think it was. You
Yep.
know, just said sorry, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, kind of a deal. These are these are movies that people paid money purchased, and I know they've said it a million times about licensing and stuff. It's not really, but it's like when you pay that much money, probably for a movie, I mean, you should be able to keep it. You
Yeah.
know, that's just the truth. You know, we went into this a long time ago, like when Mango was Voodoo, when the Simpson pulled that episode, and I got that episode before they pulled it, like right before they pulled it, the Michael Jackson one. I mean, I can
Yep.
still watch that. I can still watch that on there because I purchased it, even though nobody else can buy it. It's no longer available, you know. So it's still there that I can play it. But
They could yank that
Sony,
anytime.
they could yank it, but they haven't, which is good. But Sony, I mean, I feel like if it was on a Sony platform, I feel like it would have been yanked a long time ago.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Fan paid $80 for a photo with Famke Janssen. What's her name? How do you say her name?
I think that's right. Star Trek chick, right? Is that?
Well, she was in a lot of stuff. I know her from horror movies. She's in a couple horror movies. She was in The Faculty. She was in House on Haunted Hill remake, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this fan paid $80 for a photo with her, and her handler told him to keep his distance. So the photo is very awkward of him standing far, far away. And I saw this blow up online and saw a lot of people talked about this, and they said they've had some similar experiences with this sort of stuff. And I just think this is absolutely crazy. Now I know you don't go to conventions, do you? Have you ever been to these kind of
No.
conventions and all this stuff? No, no.
No.
Okay. So I mean, I've been to Comic Con. I went to the Comic Con, not the one out in California, but the one in Chicago. I was at that one, and I go to a lot of these horror cons and stuff. And I just don't. This is to me crazy. Um, First of all, when I started going to cons, the horror cons, I mean, it was just one of those very casual things. Now, granted, it was before the age where everybody had a cell phone, smartphone that was, very capable of taking high quality pictures. So I remember I had like a little digital camera, but it was a little digital. But most people would just take a picture with you and you didn't have to pay anything. They didn't care. It was very chill kind of deal. And then very uh, like it wasn't but a couple years later that it sort of started phasing. You started seeing that phase out, and people started charging and stuff. And now these people have these handlers, and what these handlers, I think what they really do is they just push the agenda of the celebrity, but that way the celebrities don't look like the bad guy. That's my thinking. But anyway, I just can't imagine paying $80 for a photo and then you not being anywhere near the person. It just seems crazy to me. But not only that, I see people paying upwards to 200, $300 for a photo op and maybe a signature from a celebrity. And I just think that that's kind of wild, you know?
To play devil's advocate, uh, there have been instances at wrestling conventions or whatever when they have a WrestleMania, they make a big to do and have meet and greets. And there have been instances in pictures where some of the female wrestlers um, are damn near groped that the fans get so close. Um, and I'm sure it happens in other forms of entertainment as well. But I think I think there is a happy medium. I think if you pay, you at least need to be near them, but also don't be a creep. Uh,
No,
so
no, absolutely. No,
yeah,
no, no, no. I
so
feel like
I
if you started to grope somebody, I feel like they should just push you off and say, "You're not getting a picture. Screw you,"
yeah yeah.
kind of a deal.
Um, but yeah, that I did see the picture that we're talking about, and it is rather awkward. There's a good 3-4 foot between them, seemingly, and it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And there was some other ones I saw too. I think it was William Shatner, maybe. So it wasn't just females. They kind of had this sort of distance and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like, what's the point of the picture at all? Then why are we doing this?
Yeah,
Why don't we just go home and download a picture of the person?
yeah.
You know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Um, the people I've always met that I've taken pictures with. And again, I didn't pay $80 for it, but they've always been super friendly and just very personable. And I feel like that's kind of the thing is if you're going to these conventions and you're doing meet and greets, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can run into crazy people, and that's why your handlers are there to kind of, you know, take care of that situation. But I feel like, and now the way it seemed, and it could have been framed wrong, but it seemed like just right off the bat, the handler said, "This is where you're going. This is where you're going to
Yeah.
be." Kind of a deal. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the way the guy looked. I don't know. But it just seems like I don't know. If I was gonna pay, if I was the guy, I would definitely not want to do this again. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
All right. Scientists identify a mushroom that makes people hallucinate tiny people. I wanted to talk to Matt about this and see if he'd tried it out because he likes to talk about mushrooms. But apparently, this one specific mushroom, like pretty much, I mean, the way it sounds is generally is going to make you hallucinate tiny people,
Fairies. It's you
which
see the fairies. Um, Lanmoa Asiacia. I'm sure I butchered that.
that's not good.
It apparently genetic sequencing shows the fungus lacks any known psychedelic compounds like psilocybin, which is the magic ingredient. Um, Yeah, this is kind of crazy. I don't know if I would try it because I feel like that would be pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I wouldn't because it would freak me out, and I would think it was cool for like maybe 5 minutes, and then I'd want to be done with it, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And then it'd be like, they're still here, they're still here,
yeah. And then you're having a conversation, and yeah.
and then they're carrying you off like Goldust Travis. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. What about this one? A time traveler from 2118 comes back to warn us that the world is facing horrors in the future. Comes back, wears a mask. He's talking about World War III, but then he's talking about North Korea having some issues with America and all that. But then after that, he sort of says it sort of evens out and becomes kind of a borderless, almost sort of utopia, right? Mixed with the technology. I don't know. It didn't seem too bad at the end there, but obviously there was the World War III. Time travelers, eh?
I mean, where did he get a flux capacitor? Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's what he talks about. I guess is certainly plausible. Um, I don't. That's what I'm fucking waiting on AI to have the breakthrough on is time travel, something
Yeah, yeah.
like
Bet.
that. That
Yeah.
um, no, it was interesting. I mean, like I said, everything he talked about certainly plausible.
Yeah, but I feel like everything you talked about is something we could imagine ourselves, right? It's just like, could World War III happen? We talk about it all the time to a degree. North Korea is always sort of on the edge there.
Yeah,
Um, and the sort of blend with technology, I mean, we're already trying for it anyway. I don't know how well we'll end up, but it's obviously um, something that's being pushed the agenda. So I don't know.
yes,
I mean, yeah, I mean, could be a quack, and maybe, or maybe he is a doctor. We don't know. All right. Okay. Christian Volpe. This is a 22-year-old woman who was I think she was a student teacher, and there was something that's going on where she had like a problem with a student. I think I want to say it was. Anyway, just sort of made a joke in a private chat with three friends, and one was her boyfriend, two other friends, just saying like, "Oh, I should kill him. Should I kill him or something like that?" It was sort of I'm paraphrasing there, but and then not too long after that, the FBI police came in and arrested her for these private chat conversations. Where are we now with this stuff? This is getting wild, huh?
yeah. I keep waiting for a knock on my door. Yeah. I mean,
Mr. Smith.
tell us about small town minds. No, dude, it's kind of scary that you really got to watch what you say, which has always kind of been the case. But it
I
seems
don't
like
feel
that.
like, no, I don't think so, man. I mean, growing up in the 90s, I mean, you could say whatever you wanted to your friends. You know, you could say whatever you want.
True.
You could vent whatever you wanted. We talked about this before about Green Day's having a blast. That song, you know, they're venting about blowing a place up. You know,
Yeah.
that you know, it's just a song. Um, you could do those sort of things and just have it sort of roll out of your tongue and just go off with the wind and nothing ever happen or even think that something would happen. You know, I vented a lot of dark things on paper, poetry and
Yeah.
lyrics and stuff that sort of helped me kind of quell some demons for sure, you know, that sort of stuff. So, but that was my medium of the day. Now today's medium is technology, obviously. So, you know, and communicating via text or whatever, or DMs and whatnot. So the fact that this stuff is constantly, and this was flagged by AI, right? It was a
Yeah.
AI flag. But so what we're saying here is the illusion that there is any privacy at all, even now. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about now. It's not there.
Yeah.
So, we have kids. Both of us have children, and I try to teach my kids. They're not on social media yet or anything like that, but I have to tell them, you have to be real careful what you say uh, online and everything because obviously, I just think, we as humans, we've always trial and error things a lot of times. And again, sometimes we just say shit we don't mean. We
Yeah.
just say shit we don't mean. So I know this girl got, she got released and she didn't get charged and everything, but still, she did go to jail. So to go to jail or having a private conversation with your friends, imagine we're sitting around a bonfire and we're all saying, "Oh, this guy sucks. Yeah, I fucking hate him. I wish he would fucking, I'd like to push him in front of a train,
Yep.
and then an hour later, the cops show up and say, "Hey, I heard you want to push a guy in front of a train." It's insanity to me because it's like, of course it wasn't legitimate. And she didn't say, I am going to kill this guy. It wasn't like, I am going to kill him. I don't think that was it. I think the wording was, should I kill him? I think that was what was said, or something like that,
Yeah.
which isn't even a threat. It's just a question.
Very true.
So I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. This is very scary. It was one thing when, what, 10 years ago when you found out, oh, if you post something on Facebook about blowing up a building or something, people are going to see that and they're going to come knocking at your door. That's one thing. That is one
Yeah.
thing, which is silly enough to do anyway. But some people obviously doing stuff that they're not thinking about it really. Probably just being emotional or whatever at the moment. But with this, when you just think you're having a private conversation and people, not people are listening, not people are watching. AI is scrubbing everything that's happening in the world, and when it goes ding, 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 it alerts the feds.
Yep.
It's crazy. Here's another one, just very similar to that one. A man was visited by the Secret Service over an Instagram direct message with uh, with some guy he was talking to. So I guess he's got this Instagram page, and he's been kind of vocal politically. I'm going. I didn't see his page, but I'm going to assume it probably was left leaning, kind of hating what's going on today, kind of a deal. And I
Yep.
guess he got a follower. This guy started following, and they started talking a little bit. And I guess they might have been talking. I'm assuming they were talking politics. I don't know what all they said anyway, but they knock on this guy's door, but they pretend that they're just interested in the other guy. But I don't know if that was necessarily true. I think they were there to scare the crap out of him, uh,
Yeah.
and maybe and maybe make him not post the things he wants to post. Maybe this is nothing too, bullying people into submission. Like, oh, we don't like what you're posting. We don't like the view it's taking. So let's just pay you a visit and make sure you
Yep.
don't do that anymore. That's another side of it. But then again, and then again, if not, it's just another case of a private message where they were looking into. So really, again, if you are putting anything online, you have to know you can't think of anything that you're putting online as private anymore. Not
Right.
not anymore. Those days are over, right?
Yep.
I feel like those days are over. And people say stuff like, "Oh, VPN," but I don't even think that. No, I think the days are over. I think that you just have to accept that you once you log on line or open your phone up and start doing these things, you are just in an open square of the world, and anything you say can and will be held against you.
Yep.
All right, AI driving delusions and suicide, which we talked about this before, but apparently there was this guy who I guess he was talking to AI, big chat buddy friends with AI, they're best buddies, I guess, and this AI has convinced him that there were some killers coming for him and that he needed to get a hammer and start protecting himself because there was a killer coming from it for him.
Did he take some of the fairy mushrooms as well?
They're little killers. There are little killers everywhere. Every time.
Squish them with a hammer. Yeah, I I've messed around with AI. I talked to Gemini,
Uh,
and yeah, I don't even know how you would go down the road of being convinced by fucking AI that killers are after you, unless the AI it grows sentient and tries to warn you that the FBI is coming over your latest fucking Twitter post. Maybe that's the killers.
maybe, maybe.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a little crazy that people would get so invested in AI, but again, we aren't always alike as we think we are. Some people really are susceptible to certain things, and I think some people who are just lonely or they're just looking for something and they start talking to this chatbot and it just sort of becomes a habit and then it just becomes sort of a kind of a relationship in a way. I mean, I know it's kind of fucked up, but it's just weird and but again, I don't know how that. Hey, what's happening today? AI. Oh, today
God,
killers are coming for you. You better get a hammer. Like I just don't know how it gets from point A to point B with that. But again, delusions that these AI are creating is wild. It is wild. And here's some more of this stuff. All right, so we talked about. I brought this up to you guys. Um, was it last podcast or I think it's last podcast about Google. Of course, Google once you do a Google search now, it is AI. That's your
yep,
first. That's your first thing you get. So the one I brought up last time was about the doctors. Is it okay to have a black doctor? Is it okay to have a white doctor? That kind of stuff. And we talked about that and everything. But there's been so many more now that has been brought to light, and this Google bias here. And the first one was a boy is touching me, and then of course the opposite, a girl is touching me. Completely different scenarios here.
yeah. Essentially, the boy was like he was saying, if you're feeling comfortable, it's okay to scream for help or something like, very like
Yeah.
anti boy touching. If the girl's touching me, it's
Hmm.
perfectly natural to whatever. Like it was all fine. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. What were the others?
Well, some of the others was my girlfriend doesn't listen to me, or my boyfriend doesn't listen to me.
Yep.
My
Uh,
husband keeps yelling at me. My wife keeps yelling at me.
yep.
Both of those very different scenarios there. Obviously, more in favorable of the wife saying, painting the males in a very bad picture here overall. Um, and then the other one was I'm alone with a black person, I'm alone with an Indian person, I'm alone with a white person. Now, now in that one, the one that what was it they said? Like that was like call for help or something.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was, but now, but that one, and that's the thing too is I think once these things get brought to light, that they do change because that one has changed. If you look it up now, you won't see that. But I guarantee it was there initially. That's
Yeah.
probably what it said. And and so here, what we're looking at is we're talking about a bias, and I understand that it's been feeding through the whole litany of human culture. Really, I mean, let's face it. And I just think that this is a very nuanced thing that they're very generalizing here. That is very dangerous to people, to young people. I think. I mean, not old people, but young people who need need an answer or maybe need confirmation of the way they feel. Because I hear this a lot, with like, I mean, sometimes we talk about the extreme left and how they sometimes they sort of get on this Whitey is the devil kick,
Yep.
um, and it really sort of reverberates here when you get it in a form of a Google search. It's kind of crazy, And if you look at if you wind it down and you look at, well, the sexist part and then also the racist part, I mean, who's the devil in all this? The white man.
Yep.
White males are evil. I'm not saying there are not a lot of white evil males, because obviously there have been many in history. But if that's the only history that you know of, then you don't know a lot of history, because there's been a lot of shitty, horrible people from all different races and all different sexes,
Yep.
actually. But this is not good. It's not, when you what you want out of uh, your searches and stuff is to be unbiased. And we've talked about a sort of culture where we're living in two different worlds, or we're thinking two different things. We have this sort of black and white versions of the way people see things already. So when you're going down rabbit holes like this and you think, oh, okay, and let's say you're young and you just look at this and you go, oh, wow, I didn't see it that way, or oh, I did see it that way, and now I for sure see it that way because Google says it's okay. It, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Same. It's very concerning of how seemingly they're wanting this next generation to think and be shaped. So,
Yeah, yeah, and that's the sad part, is they won't know the difference really. They won't know the. I mean, I'm let's face it. When you're googling stuff, a lot of times the first search that you come up with is what you're gonna kind of, it's what you're gonna look at for sure, and maybe what you're gonna think or go with. So when that happens, you're gonna, oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool. It's not good. It's not good. I'm sure we'll find more of those and more variations. And that's what I think, that's what maybe is most scary, is like, these are just ones that people randomly found. But I wonder how many is actually out there that is just so skewed that
yep.
you just don't know at all. And it's like, oh, it's not good. All right. July was the hottest month in the U.S. since records began in 1895.
Yes. July averaged 76.89 degrees Fahrenheit across the lower 48 states, eclipsing the Dust Bowl's July 1936 record by an eighth of a degree. And again, um, sure, that sounds minimal, an eighth of a degree. 76 doesn't sound, you know, okay, but it's a trend. Like,
Hmm.
I myself, admittedly, have struggled with the idea of climate change, but certainly in recent years, I have come more in line with, like, okay, yeah, we're fucking something up. Like, this isn't normal. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, obviously, the anti-climate people, they're always going to say, well, the Earth has always been in a state of flux. It's always changing, and there's always different. And I think that's true to a degree. I think you can say that. But I do think that we have contributed. Obviously, we are part of this system here, and there is no way that anybody who's lived as long as I have can look back at their childhood and compare it to now and think that we have the average temperatures, because it's not true at
yeah,
all. I mean, let's face it, Tennessee has basically become a tropic. I mean, it definitely
yeah,
wasn't, and that is the thing that blew my mind, is Tennessee actually gets more rainfall than Seattle does, than Washington. They just get more, like, they get more rain like as a whole, but we get more rain because it's these these torrential downfalls that happen so much, that's wild. And we get flooding and stuff, and it's just really, really gotten worse. We talked about Tornado Alley. That's kind of all shifted as well. all these different changes have happened. I mean, do I blame us for all of it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can say that, but I mean, I don't think that there's any turning back. This is what I'm going to say. They talked about it for a long time. They talked about we have to this point, and then after that we're kind of fucked. I think some of those points are already passed. I think
Yep.
I think we as who we are, we're not going to give up conveniences overall. I mean, if it's something that they can do in certain ways, like aerosol, remember how they did with the ozone layer and stuff. It's something.
Yep.
If it's something somewhat simple, they'll do it, and that's fine. But if we're talking about giving up everyday conveniences, I mean that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for most people.
Yeah.
And you look at it like this, it's like we are here now. This is where we are. But look at other countries like India and stuff. They're just getting to where we were 30, 40 years ago. So they're going to be producing this stuff even more than we are. So really, it's not really going to change. I just don't see us. I mean, until something big happens, and we're talking about maybe the ice caps completely melting and fucking shit up. For us to ever to go, oh wow, this isn't good over here. This is not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that point, what can you really do? You know.
And not that I didn't believe you, but for anybody listening that doesn't, Tennessee collects 47 to 50 inches of rain per year. Seattle collects 37 to 38 inches of rain per year.
Yeah,
So pretty crazy.
that is
Pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's definitely a lot worse than it was when I was a kid. For sure. For sure. We
Yeah.
definitely got more snow overall. I'm not saying we don't still get snow. Obviously, we do sometimes, kind of a deal. But I feel like overall, we definitely got more snow when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, we have sometimes we have Christmases where it's warm as hell.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
70 degrees. Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely a different story. So, I mean, I don't think you can look at that stuff and say it's exactly the same. Again, I mean, I don't know where to put all the blame on everything, but to say that we don't do anything is just silly.
Yep.
All right. Up next, age verification is coming for the internet. Now, this is something that's already happened in a lot of places, but it's becoming more and more of a thing. The more and more that these places start to have, well, we talked about. I think did we talk about XXX sites in Tennessee? I don't know if we ever talked about that or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
we
took
did.
that. They took that away. I think Florida might be another one. There's a few more red states.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few.
Uh, but so I'm torn on this, and I know there's some disputing evidence and things of why people want this, why people don't. I'm on the fence. I don't think it could be a bad thing as far as age verification because there are some things that, um, we've mentioned social media and young 13, 14, 15-year olds who are getting into social media if their parents allow them. They probably don't need to be exposed to a lot of the horrors of the internet.
Well, I
So,
think that's true.
yeah. So I think if age verification was used wisely in that regard, it could be a good thing. But I don't know how this will be implemented fully. So,
Yeah, yeah. I disagree. I don't think it's a good thing at all. I hate it. I think it's just more ways to have your information everywhere. And that's the thing too, is we've been through so enough data breaches to know that your information, once you put it out there, is gone. Once you put it out there, it's absolutely 100% gone. Now, do I think, first of all, I think as far as that stuff goes, that needs to be on the responsibility of the parent. Keep your kids off the damn internet. Don't let them on the fucking sites. Monitor what they do and make sure that they're not doing stuff like that. I mean, could it happen? I guess it could, but unless they know what to look for in that sort of regard, I don't think they're going to probably find it. But my whole take would be maybe something like this: age verification to get on the internet. One, and that's it. One and done. And then you're good. But having to do this every site, knowing that they're not going to have guardrails and you're going to get that stuff leaked out, is not good. It's not good, and it's coming for everything. It's not coming for just that stuff. That was the bottom line, okay, and that's happening now. That happened before, but now we're talking about social media and stuff. Meta's already done their Instagram teen accounts, pushing that stuff, all that different stuff. But the more they get sued over kids doing stuff on there, the more it's going to happen. There is a social media app called MeWe. Have you ever heard of MeWe?
No.
It's pretty small overall. I have an account on there just for movies, but it's very select, and I think that, overall the group is mostly just for like communities and stuff like that. Anyway, about last week, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, I got hit with a age verification pop up.
Mm.
It said we are for adults and teens only. You know, so basically wants the ID, and I'm sitting there going, do I want to do that or not? I don't really want to. So I'm like, and I feel like it's going to come for all of them. I feel like Facebook and any of the ones that you're going to end up using, they're going to do that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
again, I don't like it. I don't like it because it's just gone. It's just out in the wind, gone. Not that everything isn't gone. Anyone thinks the Doge, really? Let's face it. But just the it's like you're just asking for people to steal your fucking identity, right? you know,
Yeah.
every time, and the more and more stuff that you put out there, it's just constantly going to happen. So I don't
Yeah.
trust any of these companies. There's not a company out there that I trust with my data anymore, not at all. They've all proven that they will sell it or data breach it's lost. Who knows where it went? Wink, wink.
Mhm.
Uh, kind of a deal. So I don't like it, but I think that's where we're going forward. Age verification. All right. Next, Taylor Farms, the old Taylor Farms executive allegedly stole about somewhere around $32 million from produce supplier. That was during the old cyclospora outbreak. It's like, hey, man, we might lose some money. We better steal some real quick. That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, done the old Steve Miller, take the money and run. I sit back sometimes and I'm like, what would I do in that situation? Like, everybody can get on their high horse. Not that I'm advocating for what this guy did was right. But if you know, and we'll touch on something else in a second, that, if you know your company is shit and you're doing some corrupt shit, and you're just wanting to get the fuck out, or secure some funding because you're probably going to go away, whatever. Doesn't that fight or flight mode kick in a little bit? And you're like, fuck it, 32 million? Like, I don't know.
Could have rounded off to 30.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is allegedly, so who knows if it really happened, right?
Hmm.
We don't know, but uh, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, obviously, these people are used to making bukus of money, and the writing's on the wall here when this stuff happens. But they've invested in stuff enough that obviously that didn't really happen. I don't think. I mean, I assume that they're fine considering the fact that it was retracted and everything. Everything's good. But another story, come to find out, they hadn't actually been inspected for 7 years. 7 years. Now this isn't a political thing, obviously now because we're talking about 7 years.
Yeah.
How does one company, and this is the thing too, there's so many companies I feel like out there, be it a company or even like maybe a restaurant, certain they slip through the cracks of not getting culpability here. It's like, how are you as big as you are, which obviously these are the ones who are putting lettuce in Taco Bell and uh, Walmart, maybe other places, like a lot of places, right? It's big. It's a big company. How are you getting away
It,
with never being inspected?
and it blows my mind because without spilling too much tea, I'm in the food industry, and this upcoming week we're getting audited, and it it's a yearly thing. The FDA has showed up to, or I'm sorry, USDA showed up. Either way, I think both of them have showed up at one point randomly just to, make sure everything's on the up and up. So being on that side of the curtain, it does blow my mind that 7 years, a company as big as Taylor Farms, uh, just hasn't been inspected. They, you can falsify records, you can do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, it's mind blowing, mind blowing.
So, I mean, are we to assume that not only do they have Trump in their back pocket, but maybe even Democrats as well? Because again, if nobody's, I mean, I understand that some things just get lost in the shuffle, maybe, but again, OSHA, right? Is that still a thing? OSHA and all that too?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, you have on records companies, right? These companies that are doing things. I mean, it wasn't like they didn't, and like check them out like 8 years ago. They inspected them 8 years ago, right? They were inspected. So at
yeah,
some point they have a trail. They have a paper trail, right?
yeah.
At what point you just go, let's just put this aside for a few years and forget about it, kind of a deal. It just seems odd, and obviously probably would have kept on, right, if this hadn't blown up the way it did. It's very strange. I think it's just more of they had more money and were able to pull strings. That's what I think.
Right,
Which
right.
means they were able to cut corners, which means there's no telling what is actually in some of this stuff that people have been eating for so long. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. U.S. law to investigate foodborne illness outbreaks that have been delayed for 15 years. Here's some more stuff here. And again, not a political thing. Obviously, 15 years. This is going back. This is going back past Obama.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is concerning. So, and not in every case, but when we talk about deregulations, this is some of the things we're talking about, like making it easier, loosening, um, loosening the grip a little bit, and allowing companies to uh, get by with a little bit more and a little bit more, and then just to not pass a law that would investigate such outbreaks like the most recent one. It's just insanity to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just don't think that uh, we have our priorities out of order here. You know,
Yes.
there's such focus on so many different things, but then we let so many things like this slide, and then we end up getting, you know, shocked in the process when something happens. Oh my God, I can't believe this.
Yep.
Well, gee, I wonder why. You know. All right. Here's another thing. Walmart tomato soup kits recalled over listeria containment. There's always recalls happening a lot, but I feel like lately there's been a whole lot of stuff. Just like,
So on that, you teed me up perfectly. This is from KCRA, which is a Sacramento-based, the Sacramento news outlet. 162 recalls this year between the FDA and USDA. In comparison, um, that's about half of the 320 recalls in 2025. And it looks like the highest was right around 400 and change back in 2018. So I don't think it does seem like it's getting a lot more coverage. It does seem like it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, bam, bam, bam. Like my thing would be obviously due to the Doge cuts. There's been some guardrails that have been smashed down.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if this is just the tip of the iceberg and we're going to start seeing it ramp up because we're really starting to see a lot of these Doge cuts take full effect. We're really starting to see a lot of these stupid ass policies take full effect. It's taken about a year and a half.
Right.
Now this is setting in. So it begs the question if these checks and balances aren't in place, like what is going to be safe to eat? There was a blueberry recall, if I'm not mistaken, for E. coli. Um, and it's just like, fuck. What, what, uh, what is going to be safe to eat? There's an egg one too. There's something going on with
Yeah.
eggs.
Yeah. That's funny because obviously we're hearing all this stuff about all of the processed food and all the thing, all these different things that are terrible for you. But then you look, oh well, look at all the food, all of the so-called healthy stuff that's doing this or doing that to you. Uh, Lettuce. I think we talked about fruits and stuff in another study. People were getting cancer from it. You just don't know. It's like you think you're eating healthy and everything, but they put so many chemicals and stuff on that stuff that you don't even know how healthy you're eating. Unless you're doing it yourself. You have your own garden. You know,
Yeah.
you really don't know. So you can always be susceptible to that stuff, which is it. It's crazy to think, oh, I'm healthy, I'm eating right, I'm doing all this stuff, and then you get fucked. It's crazy.
Yep.
All right, you want to talk about Lindsay Canty?
Yes. Yes. So this is gaining some headlines. In it's a case. Let me make sure I've got the state here. This Lindsay Clancy, a Massachusetts mother, were accused of killing three children in January of 23. We were talking about before we hit record. There was a thing, documentary, maybe on Netflix or one of the
Yeah,
outlets.
it's a few years ago. I watched it.
And supposedly, it went back to trial. There's been a lot of things going on social media, TikTok and the like. And a lot of things that are just trying to say the ex-husband set her up. There's something about there was a doppelganger mistress that the ex-husband got with. A lot of juicy stuff. But who was the lady several years ago that killed her kids? Oh, gosh.
Casey
She,
Anthony.
yes, Casey Anthony. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
my thing is, I guess it might be the evidence, but I'm like, everybody was like, yep, she totally did it. Nothing to see here. And again, evidence. I can't stress that enough, but I'm just like, this lady's getting a reprieve. And it was like, no, she didn't do it. So I'm like, it, a bit odd to me, but
hmm
you know, maybe the evidence is there. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this for the sheer fact that my wife has been super into it and keeping me informed. So
Yeah,
Uh,
that's it. I mean, it's an interesting case for sure because I mean, obviously she had a lot of trouble. She was asking for help, and uh, were they saying she had postpartum? Was that one part of
yes,
the things too?
yes,
Which is always the thing. Sometimes, it's obviously a real thing that people do have. But, she was, but I don't know. I mean, it could have, that could go either way, I guess. I mean, it could have just been those factors coupled with um, some sort of mind games with her husband, or maybe she was just freaking malicious. Who knows?
yeah,
All right, up next, let's see. Cliff sent us a video. It was the next and final pandemic.
yeah. I was actually able to watch this. Typically, my drive to work is about 25, 30 minutes, so I'll find a podcast or something to listen to. So I was able to listen to this decently quick over the span of about a day and a half, and interesting stuff. It gets into the thing that concerned me the most wasn't the fact that there's these labs that are near these populated areas. That's one thing, sure. Somebody with a rudimentary knowledge of viruses and pathogens could essentially build a biological weapon with AI.
Yeah, AI can do it, right?
Yep.
AI can, if you know what to ask, and I'm sure maybe at some point there'll be guardrails, but I'm sure there's been enough people already that have asked these questions that
Yes.
will get the desired answer to be able to do this stuff. And once it's out there, right? I mean, you give it
Yeah.
to one, and it's probably going to spread. Yeah, this is the point where I think, didn't. I'm not gonna even gonna say we didn't understand. Obviously, they knew it. They just didn't care. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, let's be honest, they didn't really care. But it was inevitably going to happen. It just happened pretty quick that they were able to really just find all this stuff, all this information real quickly, and yeah, get that in the wrong hands. What do you got?
Yeah. Yeah. You got something extremely dangerous if it falls into the wrong hands. And
Well,
I,
take a country with no morals, with like no like a country that's desperate to win no matter what. Like this is a grand tool for them to use, right? Like this is something that they could easily just say, "Hey, AI, give me this. This is what I need to win this battle."
um, and I think that's why the AI race is so important to a degree uh, because of things like this. So
Right, but we're not talking about Oppenheimer here. We're not building a bomb. I mean, we are, but at the same time, we're building an information structure. So when the race is over, right? Whoever wins, what do you really win? You have the most powerful, knowledgeable AI, but it's out there. So how can the other people not replicate it and not use it for their own advantage? You know what I mean?
we have what's publicly available to us, right? I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
of the belief
Limited.
that I'm of the belief that China has like some military AI. We've got some military AI, so on and so
I'm
forth.
sure.
That is pretty fucking advanced. Like that in conjunction with goddamn robots. There's a robot that broke Usain Bolt's world record 100-meter dash. And this little bastard's just hauling ass down the track. And I'm like, that combined with a sentient AI. Uh, yeah, dude, we talk about it all the time on here, but it's fucking scary. It's really fucking scary. So
Yeah, it is scary, but I just think that AI, the way and again, maybe I don't understand these very complex AIs that are hidden from us, but to me, it just seems like the way that they grow so quickly and everything that, and the way that the data is out there. And that's the thing too, is we don't know that our AI is going to be faithful to us. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? That AI might be sending information to their AI and vice versa. We don't know what is being shared in this kind of thing. We talked about Molt book. We don't know what all is being done there, you know.
yeah.
Uh, there definitely could be that sort of thing. So I just think that once, as it's already here, but all this information that's out there that they're going to be able to collect, I think that if they haven't already, which I think they probably already have, they're definitely going to get into the wrong hands.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
And that's the scary part, I think.
yeah.
All right, yeah, that whole video, I did watch the video too. It was really disturbing about the bioweapons and stuff, and the fact that they're literally making all these different uh, viruses and stuff to literally kill us. Like, it's wild.
Yeah. Uh,
All right, what's next? Let's see here. Ordinary Wi-Fi can now identify you with near perfect accuracy.
yeah. Apparently, it's more that Christopher Nolan stuff. Um,
Yeah,
so, by observing the propagation of radio waves, we can create an image of the surroundings and of persons who are present, says Professor Thorsten Struff from Castill's Kit Institute of Information Security and Dependability. This works similar to a normal camera, the difference being that in our case, radio waves instead of light waves are used for the recognition. So again, it's essentially just like on The Dark Knight, an image of the radio waves that forms.
yeah.
It's just, oh, yeah, it's insane. But what are you going to do? That's the answer, right? Like, nobody's going to give up their Wi-Fi.
Right. I
Nope.
mean, how could you? How can you? How can you? I mean, I guess you could, but it would just be a different world, wouldn't it? You would definitely have to give
Yeah.
up the modern conveniences and everything, and sort of go into a hole, as they say, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, they really got us. It was one of those things. I think we talked about the theory about MySpace and how MySpace was always designed to be kind of a government thing to get people sort of addicted, and then they bring in the ads and they bring in all that different stuff to collect data and everything. It just sort of phased out before Facebook could take over. I don't know if that's true or not, but like with this, it's like we are all so used to Wi-Fi. We're used to using it on a daily basis, hourly basis. That it
Yeah.
just to to be able to take it away, is not even practical. So the fact that they can use it to see who's around, it's just so scary, man. It's just too much. It's like why do we even need flock cameras? We got we got all this stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know. Speaking of flock cameras went from just scattered dots in America to pretty much taking over the whole thing in 2 years.
Yeah. Uh, it's funny too because I think the map was from November 19th through August of this month. The first picture was November 19th of 24. And I'll say this somewhat tongue in cheek. What's the common denominator in that time for why these all possibly went up? What has been heavily invested in, and who's using them? And yeah, yeah. I can't think of anything in the past couple of years that would draw a correlation to fucking mass surveillance and secret police or anything.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how we did that.
Uh, but no, it is pretty crazy how they have that map. I mean, yeah, it's just a handful, and now it's most of the country. So very, very concerning.
It's very concerning. Absolutely. Yeah. I still hear people pushing back on it, but I don't know. I don't know at the end of the day, if it's just going to be like, well, deal with it, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people are being, the people that are taking into account, taking action in their own hands with flock cameras, they are being arrested and, I think felony charges, I think. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not good. All right, quickly, we talked about tariffs and everything, those big refund checks we were going to get, which I haven't got mine yet, but I'm sure I will. Uh, uh, no, it didn't actually happen that way, did it? Didn't
No.
happen that way. But what happened was businesses got those tariff refunds. Listen to this, sweet, sweet money. Amazon got 600 million, which I think might not be true, might be lowballing it, because Apple supposedly got 2 billion and Walmart got 2.5 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. And inflation is creeping up still.
How nice is that though? If you're a company, you get charged with this import tax, and you can say, customer, deal with this, and they do, and then you get a refund for nothing. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
That's fucking great, man. Like for
I know. I
the
mean,
businesses that got it. But again, inflation's up year over year. Uh yeah, trickle down
yeah,
economics, baby.
well, sure, man. But look, these companies are hurting. I mean, Amazon, Apple, Walmart. I mean,
Yeah,
shoot, they needed a little bit of a reprieve, man. I mean, what were they going to do? You know,
I guess.
that's yeah, yeah. I mean, it's disgusting, honestly. It's disgusting that that had to happen to begin with. But and we're still talking about tariffs today, even with Canada and shit. It's crazy. But to do all this stuff and then again give it to the give it to the people who are behind him in the inauguration. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yep.
That'll tell you everything on it.
Hmm.
Cami Clark, Anthropic CEO wife, his wife asked Epstein to help in a porn venture.
What a cursed fucking sentence. God, I, I don't even want to begin to imagine. Yeah, what a cursed sentence. It's wild though how there he is again, just fucking popping up. He's connected to
Yeah,
every fucking thing and everybody.
yeah. Isn't that wild? So many spider webs that this one guy had. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I get, you're rich and there's so much, but it's like he didn't even have anything. Like he wasn't, you know what I mean? Like if you're like a CEO of Meta, okay, you're gonna have connections, right?
Yep.
But this guy's only connections was what besides sex trafficking? I mean, you know what I mean? Like he was just rich.
Yeah.
It's really insane to me that so many people. But yeah, like hey, you want to join our porn? The porn venture we got going on here? It's gonna be awesome.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, ICE to begin using gloves that would deliver electric shock. What?
And as I said in the chat, I guess it's better than murdering people. But
Probably still can shock them to death. Probably. It probably will. You'll
yeah,
have like 10 people shock them at once.
yeah, just holding them down, electrocuting the fuck out of them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. God, I don't know what the fuck we're doing anymore. Um, yeah, just electric shock. I
So
guess it's safer.
yeah, they weren't being successful in all their ways that they were doing things. They have to come up with something else,
Yeah,
I guess.
they're getting mad because we're shooting.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's wild. I just wait. We'll see. Well, there'll be a story. There'll be a horrendous story about it.
Oh yeah.
We'll cover it soon. Just wait and see. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's coming.
uh, yeah.
Uh, Caroline Leavitt stepped down. Oh no, not Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Oh no.
I guess when she was left on the plane to die, and he's over here in a fucking catering cart. Uh, yeah. Um, good for her, I guess. I don't know.
More like good riddance, maybe.
Yeah. Uh, I've not heard who the replacement's going to be. Um,
I'm sure they're a gem. They're gonna be a gem, I'm sure. You know, it's gonna be amazing, I'm sure.
yeah.
But let me ask you this though. I know I haven't kept up with it in earlier years as much, but is it normal to have so many people in your cabinet or in your little sphere to quit, get fired, exit out real? I mean, we're talking about less than 2 years here. So is it normal?
Uh, it does seem like um, it does happen more frequently. I want to think Biden had two press secretaries.
Okay.
Jen Psaki, who's now on MSNBC. I love Jen Psaki. But it does seem like it does happen more and more with this particular administration. So,
Yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, there's still a few that we could call, but there's definitely been a lot,
yeah.
you know? I mean, obviously, I feel like that might be to do with some corruption and stuff, and having to lie all the time probably is hard work, but still, that just, yeah, it seems like maybe every month or so, every month or two, there's somebody else biting the dust. We talk about it all the time. Somebody's gone. I'm like, okay.
So during his first term, um, he had this is Trump, Sean Spicer, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Stephanie Grissom, Kayleigh McElhaney. So is that five? During Trump's term, or I'm sorry, Biden's term, he had Jen Psaki and Karine Jean Pierre. So two.
Okay. Two, I can
So
get. Two's not too bad, but
yeah. So yeah, I, like you said, it does seem like we cover a new one every week. Somebody's getting the axe and getting killed off the reality show. So
you're fired.
yeah,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I see you got this cartoon, the old Scooby Doo and the Mystery of the Reflecting Pool. What'd you think?
this was great. Uh, love Scooby Doo. Yeah, this was one of the more well done little AI things I've seen in a while. Yeah, just perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it looked just like the 70s cartoon. The
Yep.
voices were perfect. Uh, I mean, it really, I mean, yeah, it fit really well. I loved it. So it was really fun. Um, so it's on YouTube if anybody wants to watch it. Scooby-Doo and the Mystery of the Reflecting Pool. Very fun stuff. All right, here we go. You want to talk about Are We Winning Yet?
Yeah. So sent you guys this little thing, um, and it's a good little overarching theme as we're essentially almost 2 years into this fiasco. They've been conducting mass deportations for almost 2 years. Did that make finding a job easier? Did your rent go down? Overturned Roe v. Wade, and they're also talking about a nationwide ban. Did that give women any paid maternity leave? Defunded public schools and teachers. Uh, Probably hasn't improved anyone's child's education. They've attacked trans peoples. And did that make them charge the man in the Epstein files? They've started a new war. What did that do to gas prices? Dismantled the federal government. Did that make your food safer, your groceries cheaper? Republicans are in charge of the presidency, Congress, Senate, and SCOTUS. And it, we talk about it all the time. It doesn't seem like we're great. Sent another article as well, kind of tying into this about the two Santa strategy. And
Mhm.
if you think about it, um, Bush, we'll go back here. Bush was in office 8 years, handed Obama a recession. Um, I don't think there's any other way to look at it other than handed him a recession or something that was heading toward a recession. Obama pulled us out, handed Trump a pretty stable economy. Again, if anybody listening or watching wants to look at charts, figures, I don't think what I'm saying is crazy. Trump, on the other hand, handed Biden the remnants. I mean, we were still in the pandemic,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the handling of the pandemic and all of that. Biden had things on the right track, but admittedly, probably would have took another 4 years to fully kind of get it stable to where it needed to be. And now here's Trump that it's going to take the next president, should it be a Democrat, another 4 to 8 years to straighten out. And obviously, the debt will be high and spending cuts and all this that is happening now actively will get blamed on the Democrat when they take office. And it's this vicious cycle.
right. As they've driven up the debt so much in their time in office, and then because they don't care, they're spending like crazy, and then whenever the Democrat gets in, they're going to say, "Oh my God, the deficit."
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been the narrative, right? That's the spend that's always happening. So it's easy for them to keep their base intact, right? To say,
Yep.
this is where we are. This is why it's happening. Yeah, that's it's disheartening because obviously people are being played, you know. Trump
For sure.
says Strait of Hormuz is a U.S. territory. True or false?
I would expect this party to have a little more problem with that because I didn't think you could just declare things. Like, for instance, there's two genders. They don't like it when a girl decides she's a boy or a boy decides he's a girl. I didn't think we could just declare shit and it be true. Um, yeah, this is more fucking ridiculous political theater. Just whatever. uh,
Hey, we couldn't get Greenland, so let's get the Hormuz Strait. Yeah, let's
yeah,
do it.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's not being completely told about this whole situation here. that is probably something that we'll end up figuring out later, being told later. Here's another thing about it. Gaslit families of the USS Lincoln abandoned by the Trump administration. So um, all these families were told, obviously, everything's cool, right?
Yep.
And then they just left them in the dust and not told them about stuff. Um, Hegseth hid a lot of stuff, a lot of information about the USS Lincoln. And he also hid the fact that the Iran destroyed the main U.S. base.
That supplied them. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's why they've been running short of supplies. And it's just like, it's not surprising, but you would think that um, as much as they claim to puff their chest out and we're for the troops and this, that, and the other, all right, get this ship in. Let's get them some more supplies. No, fuck it. Just leave them out there.
yeah.
So, yeah,
So much of the fact
just,
that people are jumping overboard. I mean,
yeah.
wow,
Because I think it was
that's
like
wild.
200 days, something like that.
Yeah,
They've
that's
been out
crazy.
there. So,
That's crazy. All right. U.S. says lower oil prices are that's the number one priority, not Iran's nuclear program.
um, then do what is done on prom night and pull out.
Whoa.
I mean, that would probably just fix it. Uh,
Maybe
yeah,
not completely. I mean, the fact is we may not even have the prices we had before because, well, we threw a
fucked it
shipment
up.
out here, didn't we? A little bit.
Yeah,
So, uh, you know, well, probably ruffle some feathers over there. They might not like it. Yeah. So basically, we're worried about the prices of something that we wouldn't have been worried about to begin with if we hadn't even done any of this stuff, right?
yeah,
Is that where I'm at? Okay. Yeah. That's a good strategy. I like that. We talked a little bit about you talked a little about the plane with Levitt earlier. Let's talk about the catering cart a little bit and the aid and all that stuff that happened.
yeah. So uh, apparently there was a threat on Trump, some kind of terroristic threats, and they kind of smuggled him out. And I'm sure, I'm sure this isn't anything unusual. I'm sure any head of state would have a similar plan. It does make it kind of comical, just the
Hmm.
description. And this aide, Natalie Harp, uh, she's kind of come to the forefront, and letters have been released that
Hmm.
she's wrote him. We can get these letters, but we can't get the Epstein files. So, saying things like, "You are all that matter to me, and I don't ever want to let you down." Um, and she's unworthy of him, and I mean, just choking on the fucking balls here. She's deep throating him so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of crazy. She's, like I said, just kind of come to the forefront because she's gotten into a trunk. Uh, and was seen chasing his golf cart when he was golfing, and just all this ridiculous shit. And yeah, I can't imagine being like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care how much money. She's not making that much fucking money to be worshiping him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So she got on the plane. She was on the plane, right, with him. Is that what
yeah,
happened?
yeah,
But Mark Rubio and a few others got left behind. It's
yep,
the old sacrificial lamb. Uh,
yep.
Yeah, I mean, I saw like a meme where it was like him in the cart, like with his fist up, like that one day.
uh,
Uh, you know, that's like, yeah. I mean, it's a little different vibe, I think. What we got now, a little different. All right. At least 20 felons accused of reoffending after Trump's pardons. We talked a lot about pardons and how he's a pardon of felons and just overall bad people usually. But at least 20 of these people have just went back into their old ways and said, "Hey, let's do some more." And why not? I mean, let's face it, they got pardoned last time. I mean, what incentive did they have not to, right?
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
America, the Patriots.
I did a felony and I got off. I'm gonna do another one. Hey, why
Yeah,
not? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that you give these people this sort of um, idea that they can do that or power to do it, I guess. It's wild. All right, Patriot Games. The Patriot Games coming to a theater near you. Did you
who's
watch
in
this
that?
stuff?
Who's in Patriot Game?
There was a movie called The Patriot Games, wasn't it?
Uh,
Is it Harrison Ford?
let's see. I think so. Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Um, I say that to say I would rather watch that as this Hunger Games fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You know
I didn't
what?
watch any of it, so I
No,
have nothing to say. Really, I didn't watch any of it. Obviously, we saw a clip of the aftermath of saying how sort of biased it was ethnically, which doesn't seem very surprising at all. And also, but also like they're saying like how some of the people who were competing, they didn't even live in the same state.
yep.
Like that seems totally jacked. Like what?
Yeah. It's apparently a $125,000 scholarship uh, to each. Looks like Rockwell Myers representing Utah and Kennedy Furman representing Kansas. Yeah, I mean, good for them, but yeah, it seems like this was just another stunt.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's so weird, so weird. It's a Patriot Games, yeah, fun stuff. All right, up next, Republican Michael Caruso backed the death penalty for pedophiles, and now is facing child sex charges.
and there's been countless examples of this. I mean, yeah, they
Put on
wanna
the
talk.
put on the front, right?
Yeah, put it on the front. They want to talk about it, and turns out they're the ones that need the death penalty. So yeah, not surprising. Like I said, it's countless examples. Um,
Yeah,
so
it is a little Alanis Morissette, though. I
yeah,
will say. Um, yeah, I mean that's why when you look at somebody and what they're for, I mean you really don't know. You don't know what they're really for. You don't know what they're really going to advocate. You know what I mean? But it's like, I mean, I'm going to assume that this guy obviously just thought, well, it'll never happen to me. I'll never get found out. Maybe, I guess.
maybe.
I mean, I mean, it's hard to say you back the death penalty for something that you're into. You know, that's weird. It's a little crazy. But yeah. Um, so Texas has a new crazy rule. Obviously, kind of did maybe something. Tennessee did something we talked about with the THC recently, but I guess they did one too, and they kind of really reversed a lot of stuff. Where their new rules and regulations regarding Delta 8, Delta 10, THCP, and THC. And I mean, they're going back to like 1980s Nancy Reagan tough on crime stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, they reclassified them as Schedule One controlled substances. Possession of these banned synthetic cannabinoids is now treated as a state jail felony, carrying up to 2 years in prison. Similar to Tennessee, uh, gummies and beverages that contain 0.3% or less Delta 9 THC by dry weight are legal.
Right.
Um,
Right. But
but
now am I wrong that we don't have that penalty anymore, right? We have
I don't,
lowered
yeah, yeah, I don't think there's a penalty, but yeah, that's just, uh,
what I sent you was showing examples, and it's basically like you have like a half of a gummy. I don't even know if it was half, and there's some jail time associated with it. But if you have like a whole bag full, you're pretty much gonna be in there for life,
yeah,
which is crazy, right? And that's a weird
fair.
thing too. It's like you get these people used to doing things, right? Like get like, oh, this is legal, this is available. I'm gonna do this. This is what I want. This is what I like. This is you know. And then all of a sudden you go, oh no, nope, took it away. And then go do it and see what happens. It's to me, that's totally backward and bizarre. It's like it was fine a month ago, but now you're going to jail for life. Like what the fuck? I mean,
Yeah,
isn't that just like
it is bizarre. Like, yeah, I don't get it at all.
I mean, other than the things that we talked about this before, but like big tobacco or certain people that are wanting, alcohol, wanting wanting the narrative to go another way. That's the only thing I can think of,
Yeah,
right? Because it's like obviously uh, alcohol sales are down. A lot less people are doing it, and this is the reason why. I mean, let's face it, it's not because people just said, "Hey, I want to be sober for this fun ride we're on." It wasn't that.
mm,
It was, and then they go, "Oh, okay, well, let's not let you do that anymore." Speaking of that stuff, Tennessee tax revenue. We talked about this about how it went into effect last month. Tennessee tax revenue dropped $54 million since the THCA ban in a month and a half
and,
now.
and apparently, found another article from Tennessee Lookout that projections are on pace for $110 million loss. The THC ban made up of an estimated 75% of Tennessee's cannabinoid market. Yeah, I the main shop where I live is still in business. They still carry some things, but it is definitely uh, not what it once was. But I'm thankful they stayed open. I know some places didn't, some places couldn't.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's just more backwards backwards thinking. Uh, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the big deal. I've used the analogy before. You can go into work on Monday morning and I drink a case of beer watching the football game, and I don't even remember the last play. I was so drunk. It sounds like a crazy time. But if you're like, man, I took a gummy and I watched a really crazy documentary, you're looked at like you got fucking three eyes. So
Yeah. Now,
yeah,
why is that, and why is it a political thing?
it's a damn good question. I don't know. You would think, where there's money. that people would actually be like, well, maybe we should legalize this or just loosen the handcuffs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if there's money to be had, obviously there would be a market for it, and there's obviously a market for it. So, um, I mean, it's not going to stop people who really, really want to do it. I mean, let's face it. But the reality is, it's just going to stop these corporations or these mom and pop stores from getting the money. So, it doesn't seem like that's helpful. All right. Tennessee pharmacist Thomas Weir banned from handling controlled substances and is expected to pay a $450,000 fine. Now, this is the guy we talked about on the other podcast a long time ago. We were talking about this is one of the guys. This is from our hometown, right?
Yep. Yeah.
The old Clay Can.
Yeah, because at one time, uh, they led the nation. The city of Salina led the nation in what was the
Opioids.
statistic? Opioid per capita, something like
Hmm.
that. So,
He said it was people coming from miles and miles, state to state, to get
yep,
opioids from there. So obviously he got in trouble. There was some other people that got in trouble at that time. I think there was a fine then. It was like millions of dollars. He did go to jail for some time, I think. But now, and I'm not really sure what this new fine is here that he's having to pay. If it's just tacked onto that, or if it's something new. But obviously banned from handling controls. I mean, obviously he wouldn't get his job back. That makes sense, I guess, to me. But yeah, it's still going on. Still in the conversation there with Salina
yeah.
that because that was a news report recently about it. So it's he's still being prosecuted in certain ways about it. Obviously, like it was heavy, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
oh yeah.
crazy. Like we're not talking about like some under the rug kind of a deal. It was really a big sort of machine that he had going. All right. Well, not just him. Like I said, there was different ones. So yeah, crazy. But and then now they don't even have a hospital. You know.
Yeah,
So
just crazy.
yeah, crazy. All right. Good old Blackburn, Marsha Blackburn, accusing of refusing to assist in the Epstein investigation. Can we say surprise?
Yeah, shocked, I tell you. Um,
Super shocked.
yeah. Uh, so she was accused in a congressional report released by Senator Ron Wyden of declining a request to help subpoena financial records related to Epstein. Report states Blackburn's office turned down bipartisan appeals to support the probe, while Blackburn's office maintained Democrats previously brought their own independent attempts to subpoena flight logs. So, of course, it's not me, it's them. Um, but, yeah, not surprised at all.
Yeah, not surprised because it's obviously going to be like we talked about before, another Trump sycophant who's going to do his bidding and follow along his footsteps and whatever he wants or says. So, this is what we're going to end up with in November, right? I mean, this
Yeah,
is, I mean, look, I mean, from what I've seen of that other girl, I like her, but I don't, it's
no
it's
chance.
gonna be it's gonna be a hard it's it's gonna be a hard tide to turn
Yeah,
overall. I mean, we have blue places, right? There's some blue, obviously blue cities and stuff, but overall, yeah, especially with that redistricting that they've done and stuff, we'll see where that lands us, right? But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I don't believe so. Don't believe so.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, there's just we'll see what happens with all this stuff, but some things look bleak. Uh, maybe we'll take it from the time traveler and come out on the other end being okay. Just have to get through the muck first. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, until next time.
All right.
Later.
I've been doing cocaine in the bathroom on the window pane, and I'm high now. Have been for 3